for various reasons, including lack of third-party confirmation, inadequate documentation, and no supporting contracts. Mr. Speaker, fictitious debt of 89.4 million Ghana cedis. The then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government's contribution to interest payments under the One District, One Factory initiative. The Ministry of Finance subsequently processed same to the Controller and Accountant General's Department for payment. But Mr. Speaker, this particular request was part of BTA's sitting at the Controller and Accountant General's Department awaiting cash for payment. When auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. According to the auditors, the said 89.4 million Ghana cedis debt was fictitious. Without the audit intervention, a whopping 89.4 million Ghana cedis of hard-earned public money could have been disbursed to settle this non-existent liability. Mr. Speaker, only God knows how much of taxpayers' money has been lost to similar fictitious claims. Right Honorable Speaker, payment of 10.5 million Ghana cedis was recorded as having been made into an account named the buffer account at a commercial bank. Upon verification, the bank confirmed that it had never received such payment. The account number cited did not exist within the bank's records and did not even conform to its account numbering format. The evidence from the audit pointed to a completely fictitious account. Mr. Speaker, as a result of these fictitious accounts linked to the One District, One Factory payments, the entire 1D, 1F scheme requires a forensic audit which will be carried out soon. More so when government is said to have spent 391 million Ghana cedis as its contribution towards 1D, 1F interest subsidies as at the end of 2024. The dry spell expenditure. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, the government of Ghana paid for 34,000 metric tons of rice to address the impact of the dry spell. However, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture received and distributed 24,000 metric tons of rice. To date, 10,000 metric tons of rice remains unaccounted for, even though the entire quantity has been fully paid for. The audit revealed that the government of Ghana also contracted a company to supply 100,000 metric tons of maize. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture submitted stores receipt advice as evidence of delivery of the 100,000 metric tons of maize worth 771.2 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance for payment. But only 11,900 metric tons was supplied and distributed. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that the store's receipt advice was supported by a checklist that was certified by the internal auditor of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Overpayment for transportation of grains. Mr. Speaker, under the Farmer Food Relief and Recovery Program, a transportation company was contracted to transport 134,000 metric tons of maize and rice to farmers across the country at a contract sum of 115.2 million Ghana cedis. Even though the company transported only 35,000 out of the 134,000 metric tons, which should have costed 30.9 million Ghana cedis, the company was paid in cash 50 million Ghana cedis. In addition to this payment, the company was given 7,311 metric tons of rice equivalent to 14,622 bags of 50 kg rice, which amounts to 11.7 million Ghana cedis in lieu of cash for no work done. This brings total payment to 61.7 million cedis to the transportation company. As a result, the Auditor General accordingly rejected an amount of 65.2 million Ghana cedis that was requested by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as additional payment to the said transport company. The unfounded teacher trainee arrears. The Ministry of Education reported unpaid allowances totaling 160 million Ghana cedis to teacher trainees under the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. When auditors engaged GTEC, the agency confirmed that as of December 2024, there were no outstanding arrears. Over 159 million Ghana cedis would have been lost but for this audit. Mr. Speaker, an amount of 6.1 million Ghana cedis appeared on the Ministry of Education's BTA schedule at the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department, even though the same funds had already been paid by a donor partner. Such entries opened a door for double payments and exposed a dangerous pattern of weak oversight and porous coordination between donor and government financial records. Mr. Speaker, auditors identified BTAs totaling 293 million Ghana cedis for 6 MDAs with no documentation. There were no contracts, no IPCs, and no record of any executed work. Mr. Speaker, the breakdown of the unsupported BTAs are as follows. Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, 241.2 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 26.3 million Ghana cedis. Judicial Service, 18.2 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Special Initiatives, 3.7 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 2.4 million Ghana cedis. And the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, 782,262 Ghana cedis. Falsified stores receipt advices intended for misappropriation of public funds. Mr. Speaker, auditors uncovered transactions worth 9.4 million Ghana cedis supported by forged stores receipt advices, SRAs, that had been used to justify requests for payment for goods that were never delivered. Ministry of Defense, 4.8 million. A contract between the Ministry of Defense and a company for vehicles intended for border surveillance and monitoring of the 2024 general election revealed that despite the issuance of stores receipt advice, which is an official document confirming that goods have been received, dated 12 October 2024, the vehicles were never delivered. Similarly, the Judicial Service appeared to be caught in a web of falsified stores receipt advice. While an SRA dated 25th October 2024 claimed the receipt of 7 Toyota saloon cars, as soon as the audit was initiated, the supplier wrote to the Judicial Service on 10th April 2025, indicating their inability to supply the said vehicles as scheduled. This shows that fraudulent documents were submitted to the Ministry of Finance for payments, and steps have been taken to avoid the recurrence of this incident. Mr. Speaker, these cases illustrate a disturbing pattern of fraud designed to deprive the people of Ghana hundreds of millions of cedis of public funds. Recycling of already paid IPCs and invoices. Mr. Speaker, claims amounting to 4.4 billion Ghana cedis which had already been paid between 2020 and 2024, were fraudulently resubmitted for payment. These recycled claims originated from the following MDAs: Ministry of Roads and Highways, 3.6 billion Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 384.8 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 216.7 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Food and Agriculture, 57 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Defense, 40.9 million Ghana cedis. Independent Power Producers, 36.4 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Finance, 26.4 million Ghana cedis. And Ministry of Interior, 3.1 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, but for our vigilance, the Ghanaian taxpayer would have lost a colossal 4.4 billion Ghana cedis in these recycled claims. Right, Honorable Speaker, one eye-opening finding of this audit was that MDAs did not have sufficient records of what they had contracted, what they had paid, and what was outstanding. Shockingly, government of Ghana was at the mercy of contractors and suppliers to determine how much is owed to them. Mr. Speaker, this calls for an urgent review, redesign, and implementation of an appropriate PFM architecture to manage our public funds. Mr. Speaker, auditors identified duplicated and overstated claims by MDAs totaling 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. These MDAs include the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, an amount of 408.3 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 386.7 million Ghana cedis. The National Service Scheme, 334.5 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 125.65 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 114.2 million Ghana cedis. And the NCCE, 8.8 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense reported 77.1 million Ghana cedis as outstanding claims for which IPCs and invoices were issued, although the contract had expired and deliveries were not made. Mr. Speaker, according to the auditors, confirmation responses received indicated an overstatement in claims by 161.9 million Ghana cedis. These emanated from Department of Urban Roads, 57 million Ghana cedis, Ministry of Transport, 39.9 million Ghana cedis, Department of Feeder Roads, 22.46 million Ghana cedis, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, 20 million Ghana cedis, Ghana Highways Authority, 17.5 million Ghana cedis, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 2.68 million Ghana cedis. Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, the audit of Agenda 111 projects also revealed that a total amount of $7.9 million United States dollars was paid to 35 contractors as advance mobilization under the program. But these contractors have either failed to mobilize to site or the work done is not commensurate with the amount paid. The advance mobilization guarantees secured by the 35 contractors who received the $7.9 million US dollars have all expired. The Auditor General has subsequently issued notices of surcharge to the offending contractors. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this audit has exposed a rotten system designed to fleece the people of Ghana. It reveals not just lapses in our public financial management architecture, but a pervasive and systemic plunder of the public purse. A culture marked by the fabrication of fictitious claims, the resubmission of recycled invoices, the forgery of stores receipt advice, and the treatment of public funds as personal entitlement rather than as public trust. The President Mahama administration refuses to accept this rotten system In fact, we refuse to normalize waste, and we refuse to ask the Ghanaian people to pay for fraud. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance has formally referred the report of the Auditor General to the Attorney General to bring to account those responsible for this rape of the public purse. Those who abused their offices, colluded with contractors, falsified records, or attempted to loot the public purse through the back door will be held to account. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will no longer serve as a rubber stamp for weak controls and falsified claims. Going forward, no payment will be made without full verification, no commitment will be entered into without budgetary allocation, and no officer, regardless of rank, will be shielded from accountability. This moment marks a decisive break from the past, a reset of public financial management, a declaration that discipline has returned to the center of fiscal and economic governance. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian people demand accountability, and under His Excellency President Mahamad's government, that demand will be met with action. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I seek your leave to lay the report of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Minister for Finance. Honorable members, I will open the floor for comment subject to Order 91, 3, and 4. Yes, Honorable Patrick Yabuama, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, yes. You comment. Speaker, just to, by way of a guide, we want to pray that we take 3-3 on its side. Oh, please. Why? I am making a proposal. So, please, so listen to me. If you have a counter proposal, you say so.
Minority leadership, the proposal is to take 3-3 comments.
Can do. Mr. Speaker, with respect, normally we would have to agree instead of communicating directly to the chair. I don't think that is what the majority side did. That notwithstanding, I would want to suggest that we take 5 plus leadership, making 6, because, Mr. Speaker, this is an important matter that has just come. We would be happy to talk about it, especially when the Deputy Minister talks about rot in governance. I'm sure he would soon see that things are more rotten under the very administration he serves than what he complains of. So, Mr. Speaker, it's good he's brought it on. Let's take it to the cleaners. It's good he's brought it on. We're ready for them.
Chip. 6. Very well. So by Order 91, 4, the comment must not exceed 5 minutes. The timekeepers are up there. The floor is now open. Honorable Patrick Yabuama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To make some few comments on the statement by the Deputy Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, this statement to Parliament is on the report of the Auditor General on arrears and payables at the end of 2024, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Article 187 of the Constitution of this country establishes the Office of the Auditor General of Ghana and empowers the Auditor General of Ghana to look into the books of all MMDAs and institutions of this country, Mr. Speaker. It also gives persons affected by the report of the Auditor General the opportunity to explain certain things before a formal report of the Auditor General is laid before the House within 6 months after each financial year. Mr. Speaker, we don't know the basis of this report. Has the Auditor General given those implicated or mentioned in this report, or those officers or the institutions mentioned thereunder, the opportunity to respond and take advantage of the provisions under Article 1879, which says that a person aggrieved by a disallowance or a surcharge made by the Auditor General may appeal to the High Court. Mr. Speaker, I believe the Minister of Finance has rushed into presenting this statement. There are various officers or institutions of state who had to be invited to answer questions. Mr. Speaker, the NDC administration has been in power for just under a year or a year and a half. They have all the powers of state to invite anyone who has committed any offense to be investigated and brought before any court of competent jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, we rush to this House, make this statement, implicate people, and later go back and find out that they haven't committed any offense. Mr. Speaker, let's be careful with the way we handle public officers. There's been so many occasions that reports have been submitted to us, referrals are made to the Public Accounts Committee, you go there and the records are sent to them and it shows that they've committed no offense. Mr. Speaker, let's be very careful. Honorable Deputy Minister of Finance, I'm sure you are in a rush to satisfy or settle some scores. This is not the forum for this statement. This is not the forum. This is not an appropriate statement referred to us as a House, as enshrined in the Constitution of this country, by the Auditor General. You are putting the cart before the horse, and be very careful about this tangent that you are trying on. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Kwame Abuja.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to make few comments about this very important statement. Mr. Speaker, this is the right forum to talk about this. Mr. Speaker, I will explain to you. And when I finish explaining, colleagues would understand why this is the best forum. Mr. Speaker, the statement talks about contracts. Mr. Speaker, some of the largest contracts in this country are approved by this House. Mr. Speaker, this House approves even contracts, road contracts, where we write into the contract that we will buy even mobile phone that the contractor will use on the project. We borrow money to buy mobile phones for the contractor on the project. Yes, you say, hey, that is what you have approved. We even pay for the use of the mobile phone approved by this House. Tell me this is not the best forum. This House approves contracts and say we should pay a contractor $29 million as mobilization. And if that contractor fails, if we fail to do certain things, the contractor can walk away free with our $29 million. Tell me this is not the right forum. Let's look at each other. I don't know your constituency, but in my constituency, there will be a pregnant woman today who may be struggling to find a health facility to attend. I have constituents today who are looking for potable water to drink. And if you and I, members of parliament, write a contract and give away $29 million to a contractor and say that when the contractor raises a net certificate, we are not able to pay, the contractor can walk away with $29 million. Tell me this is not the right forum to be talking about it. What has this got to do with the Auditor General? It is members of parliament who should do our work diligently. How do you feel buying a mobile phone for a contractor? Mr. Speaker, I believe these issues are very serious. Mr. Speaker, during the validation process by the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, it is quite obvious. In fact, I have at the ministry currently about 500 million claims that when the contractors were asked, show me your contract, the contractors didn't come back. But these contracts were formed at the ministry, at the agencies. Tell me this is not the right forum so that we who represent the people who do things right. It is not about NDC or NPP. But these monies are being wasted in our names. Mr. Speaker, it is not about anybody there or me. But this is the waste that is in the system. Mr. Speaker, when every day, including tomorrow afternoon, I'll be asked, when will you be paying the contractor who has stopped work in my constituency? And tomorrow, I'll be answering those questions. Minority leader, bear with me. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll be asked questions by colleagues. Why is the contractor on my road not working? And I tell you that this same house have approved $29 million to be spent on a project, Walawale, how do you call it? Savelugu to Walawale, and the contractor work free. Tell me this is not important. Mr. Speaker, it is very important. And I am urging the House. Mr. Speaker, yes, I'm a minister. I can guarantee, yes, I'm a minister. Look, no, let me tell you.